Hello students, welcome to third lecture of alternating current. Let's first see today's class overview. Today first will be understanding root mean square value of alternating current, and also will derive one expression for that. Secondly will be understanding phasor and phasor diagram, and lastly will apply alternating current in a resistive circuit. So let's start the class. First will be understanding what is meaning of root mean square value of alternating current. This root mean square value of alternating current is also known as virtual or effective value of alternating current. How can you define this? Root mean square value of alternating current is that steady current which will produce the same heat in a given resistor in a given time as it is produced by the alternating current passing through the same resistance for the same time. तो कहने का मतलब क्या हुआ? Suppose there is one AC circuit containing a resistor, then will flow some current here, alternating current let I, and for time t will flow the current. Then through the resistor some amount of heat will be evolved. Let the amount of heat evolved is H. Now if we replace this alternating current source by one direct current source, suppose you replace this one by a direct current source, now whatever amount of current will pass through this for the same time through the same resistor, so that the amount of heat evolved is equal to same as to the earlier case. मतलब जितना करंट पास करने से सेम टाइम के लिए एच अमाउंट ऑफ हीट प्रोड्यूस होगा, दैट वैल्यू ऑफ करंट इज नोन एज वर्चुअल और effective value of alternating current. So I hope you understood this. Now let's derive one expression for this. So for this purpose, suppose through this AC circuit I amount of current is passing through this, then this I can be given as I is equal to I naught sin omega t, because the current will be varying sinusoidally both in magnitude and direction. Then we will be finding the amount of heat evolved for small interval of time dt when current passes through this circuit. Let the dH amount of heat is evolved in time dt. Then this dH can be given as, we know H is equal to I square R T. Formula, standard formula is H is equal to I square R T. So when we replace this one, in place of I put the value of I there, so you will be getting I naught square sin square omega t, and then R, and time is there dt. So total heat evolved in one cycle, we have to integrate the small amount of heat evolved. So when we integrate, then put the value of dH, so then I naught square sin square omega t, then R dt, and we have to take the time interval from 0 to t. This implies H is equal to I naught square is constant, R is constant, so let's take this one outside. Then what is left is sin square omega t dt, and we will be finding integration of this. then this will be equal to, it is sin square theta. So sin square theta can be written with the help of cos 2 theta. So putting that one, I naught square r, then sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta. So cos 2 omega t divided by 2. Okay, so this is in place of sin square omega t. Then we will be integrating this from 0 to t. Now when we integrate this, what will we get? This implies h is equal to, h it involves two terms, so we'll be finding the integration separately. So first let's find the integration of the first term. So that is equal to I naught square r, then integration of 1 is there, so it can be written as dt, then minus, then integration of second term, and half is there, so let's take that half common and we'll multiply this one here. Then what is left is the second term, that is cos 2 omega t dt, and integration of this. So this can be written as I naught square r divided by 2. And look this one, the second term, you see that it involves cos theta, and integration of sine or cos function over a cycle is 0, because the positive, for the positive cycle and negative half cycle, the values get cancelled. So what will be left is only the first term, and integration of first term will be here t with limit 0 and t. So finally you got then this is equal to here I naught square r by 2, and this by putting the value once t and next time 0, will be getting this is equal to t. So make this expression 1. Okay, I naught square r by 2 into t. Next then, so this was when we are passing the alternating current I. Now let's replace this alternating EMF source by a direct current source. Then when we replace this by a direct current source, let the current flowing is IV, which is the virtual value or effective value. So if IV is the virtual value of AC, then we can write it's equal to now I square RT. Now R is your R, and for what time we have taken the current? For time t. So make this equation 2. Now in both the ways the heat produced would be same. So when we equate both the equations now 1 and 2, I V square RT will be equal to I naught square RT divided by 2. So RT would be cancelled. So IV is equal to then I naught by root 2. The square when we take on this side, right hand side. So we'll be getting then IV, which is also known as root mean square value of current or effective value of alternating current. So that will be equal to here I naught divided by root 2, or this is equal to 0.707 times of I naught, or this is also, or this can be written as 70.7% of I naught, right? So this is expression for IV. In the same way, as we proceed for the current, we can find out the expression for root mean square or effective value of alternating EMF, and that can be written as EV or ERMS, or effective value of alternating EMF is equal to E naught divided by root 2, like the I naught by root 2, and that will be equal to your 0.707 E naught, that will be equal to 70.7% of E naught. Okay, suppose in exam you are asked to derive this relation, then how will you derive this? You have to proceed in the same way as it is done here. Okay, for the expression of current, only the formula what will change is, in place of this heat produced I square RT formula, you will be using heat produced is equal to E square by R into T. Then next we will be understanding phasor and phasor diagram. So what is phasor? To understand, look this figure. So as you see, this GIF represents one rotating vector, a vector which is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, okay, with some angular velocity. So such a rotating vector which represents a physical quantity is known as a phasor. Okay, then this vector rotates anti-clockwise direction. As you see in the figure, it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction with some angular velocity equal to angular frequency of that quantity. Then its length represents the amplitude of the quantity. तो इसका जो लेंथ होगा, ये वेक्टर का जो लेंथ है, that will represent the amplitude of the quantity. As you see in this figure, right in the second figure, where the EMF has been shown, okay, by vector, and you can see here that this length is going to give you the peak value of the EMF. Okay, then its projection upon a fixed axis gives the instantaneous value of the quantity. Suppose at any moment we want to find the projection of this EMF on y-axis, then for this purpose you will draw one perpendicular as it is shown here. Then this projection on y-axis means this projection, okay, is going to give you the instantaneous value of the EMF. And how can you find this? If the angle at any moment is taken as omega t, then your this part will be, if you draw perpendicular from here, then this is going to be your, how can you find this one? By multiplying, then this part can be found by multiplying sine omega t with the amplitude. Then the phase angle between two quantities is shown by phase angle between their phasors. The angle between them, as you see here, this is represented by the phase angle between them. Okay, that represents the phase angle between them. Then what is a phasor diagram? A diagram that represents alternating voltage and current of same frequency. कंडीशन है दोनों का फ्रीक्वेंसी सेम होना चाहिए. As phasors with proper phase angle between them is called a phasor diagram. Means in a phasor diagram will be taking any two physical quantities, okay, or as two rotating vectors, and we have to mention proper phase angle between them. Next we will apply alternating current in a pure resistive circuit. मतलब एक सर्किट है where one resistor is there and we have supplied some alternating EMF source. So E is equal to E naught sin omega t. Then here the current part will flow, let that is I, alternating EMF supplied to the circuit, E is equal to E naught sin omega t. Let this be equation 1. Then the current passing through the circuit, current in the circuit, I can be given as, because we know the formula for I is equal to E by R, so resistance is here R, current flowing is I. This can be written as I is equal to, in place of E, put the value of E there, so it is E naught sin omega t divided by R. Now this E naught by R can be represented as I naught sin omega t, where I naught is equal to E naught by R, because E naught represents the maximum EMF. So when we divide the maximum EMF by the resistance, then obviously we will be getting the current there, maximum current. So I naught is equal to maximum current or peak value of current, or we can write, or R is equal to E naught by I naught. Okay, let's represent this I is equal to I naught sin omega t by equation 2. Then what we can see, the E, between E and I, no phase difference arises, because here plus phi term is not there, or plus phi is equal to 0, so there is no phase difference between E and I. Okay, so from equation 1 and 2 we can conclude that there is no phase difference between alternating EMF and current in case of resistive circuit or pure resistor circuit. What is meaning of this? That if there is no phase difference, both attains the values of either minimum or maximum at the same time. So let's understand this with the help of graph, where we will be showing the variation of alternating EMF and current. Okay, so next then graph of alternating EMF and current versus omega t. So this represents the graph. To represent the graph on x-axis, let's take omega t. Then the phase angles are represented by pi by 2 pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, and so on. Even we can represent by the time also, because we know that in a time period t, the phase angle covered is equal to 2 pi. Next on y-axis, let's take the EMF and current, alternating EMF and current. Then when we plot the graph for E and I naught, E is equal to E naught sin omega t and I equal to I naught sin omega t, we will be finding this type of sinusoidal varying graph. And what do you observe in the graph? Look, at time pi by 2, at phase pi by 2, so in place of omega t, when we put pi by 2, then E will be achieving the maximum value. And you can see that at the same moment, when your phase is equal to pi by 2 or time is equal to your t by 4, the current will also achieve the maximum value. It means that both current and EMF achieves the same maximum value at one time. Okay, at t by 4 or at phase of pi by 2. Okay, means there is no phase difference between them. They attain same values at same moment. Next, how can you represent this by phasor diagram? So for that, you have to draw x-axis and y-axis. as you have seen how to represent in phasor diagram. Then represent the EMF first. So this represents your EMF, alternating EMF, and the length represents the maximum value of the EMF. As there is no phase difference, so the current also will be in the same direction. So this will represent your current, and length represents the maximum value of the current. So finally, let's see student what we discussed today. We understood what is root mean square value of the current, and we found the relation of IRMS with the peak value, which is equal to your IRMS is equal to I0 by root 2, or that is equal to 0.707 times of peak value of the current, or this is equal to 70.7% of peak value. Like this you can remember. Then next we understood what are phasors. Any rotating vector which represents some physical quantity is known as a phasor, and both alternating EMF and current in alternating current chapter are taken as phasors, and they can be represented with suitable phase angle in phasor diagram. Then lastly, we passed alternating current through resistor, and we see that there is no phase difference between the alternating current and EMF, or they are in the same phase. So for today this much. Bye.